Welcome to Sold Out Sales School, the podcast for women with heart-led, impact-driven offers who are tired of being the internet's best-kept secret. I'm Trish Ware, mom of 7, former labor nurse turned 7-figure business owner and business mentor for B2C brands. If you're marketing to moms, parents, or real people who are not going to make money off your offer, this show was made for you. You tried the big name coaches, but their strategies weren't built for your audience. Here, we do sales differently. No bro marketing, no cold DMs, no weird hooks, no fake urgency, just clear messaging, aligned offers, and strategy that actually converts. You're not here to hustle harder and miss all your family events. You're here to scale smarter with simplicity. So let's get you sold out. Hey there, welcome back to Sold Out Sales School, where we talk about building a business that makes sense for your life, your nervous system, and your purpose or your why. So today we're going to dive into something that might change the way you see productivity forever. And we're going to call that the tyranny of urgency. And this landed on me this weekend in church. And I was like, I have to teach this. And we're going to start out by defining what the word tyranny actually means. So tyranny is defined as cruel and oppressive power or control. And when I first thought about this and I looked it up, I realized something. A lot of us entrepreneurs, especially women, are living under this self-imposed tyranny of urgency. And it just landed so hard for me yesterday that I was like, I have to talk about this tomorrow. So we have handed over our peace to a clock. We've let deadlines, we've let dopamine, like the hit of a viral reel, or dopamine hit from, oh my gosh, my offer is selling out, and the fear of falling behind also become our dictator. But here's the thing, if your hustle doesn't have intention, you're not building a life that you love. You're building a cage that you cannot breathe in, and it will suffocate you. Urgency is really seductive because it feels like it's productive. It masks itself as productivity. Like you're checking off some boxes, you're posting your content, you're responding to DMs, and you look like you're winning. But deep down, you're anxious, you're reactive, and you're disconnected. And that is not leadership. That is survival. And you didn't trade your 12-hour shift or your 9 to 5 to survive. You traded it because you want to create freedom. And the tyranny of that urgency keeps you performing instead of creating. And it keeps you saying yes out of fear instead of using discernment. And it tricks you into thinking that faster is always better, when in reality, faster might just mean further from you, like from who you are. So if your business only thrives when you're sprinting, that's not a good business, girl. That is going to wear you out. And it is a burnout plan that is disguising itself in ambition. What I want to do is talk about what is behind that. Every time you check off a task or, you get something done, your brain releases a hit of dopamine, the same neurotransmitter that keeps you refreshing your notifications when you've posted a reel or whatever. And that chemical rush feels like progress, but it's actually training your brain to crave activity over achievement. You become addicted to doing, not becoming, and you mistake urgency for importance, and eventually you'll lose your ability to tell the difference. That's why your clarity disappears. That's why you're tired, but you can't stop moving. And that's why when you pause, when you rest, you feel unsafe, because you're wired, or your brain rather, is wired to equate being still with not doing enough. And that's failing. But intention interrupts that pattern. We talk about pattern interrupts when we're doing content, but we also have to have some pattern interrupts in our life, because that is what will reclaim your authority away from this thief called urgency. So the medicine, the antidote to the tyranny is intention. When you lead with intention, every action is chosen, not chased. One of the things that I have inside Content Mastery Mastermind is we have our steps to success, and we drop them every Sunday. so that our clients are intentionally planning out their week. They stop reacting, they start responding, they stop filling their days with noise, and they start creating results that matter. Intention is quiet power, it's clarity. It's clarity in motion, right? It's clarity in the intention that you set for the week. It's what transforms your hustle from being chaotic to congruent. So when I coach my clients in content mastery, we don't glorify doing more. We want to master doing what matters and doing it deeply. And when Alex Hermosi says that 80% of your time should be on content, I 100% agree. I don't always agree with bro marketing, but that one I do. Because impact doesn't come from intensity, it comes from alignment. And the content and your messaging is your front door. So here's your reminder. If you don't schedule a pause, a rest, your body will force it. You will run down. And if you don't choose stillness, burnout will overcome you and you're not going to be productive. Rest is not a retreat. It's rebellion against this society of tyranny, this urgency, that hustle culture. We want to rebel against that. Now, okay, so now let's segment that into sales. How do we bring that into sales? Because this is where urgency does the most damage. When you sell from exhaustion and from desperation, your energy will scream out, I'm desperate. You may not say the words, but your audience will feel the frequency. They feel it. They feel the energy behind your content when you're filming, that behind your words that you say, how you answer with your voice memos and your DMs, and how you respond to comments. But when you sell from the pause, your energy communicates safety. You become the calm in your audience's storm. And that's what people buy, not your product, not your funnel, but your energy. You are the thing that sets your offer apart from everyone else who's selling an offer to a mom. So we have to create from the pause. The tyranny of urgency makes you just sound like everyone else, but rest, the pausing, brings confidence and intention. And that is what's going to make you magnetic. So of course, I'm not going to leave you without steps. So here's how you start breaking free. 1, audit your hustle. Look at your week. Keep notes this week on all the busyness, the busy work that you're doing, and then rate it. Like, what is actually selling my offer? What is building my business? Busy work feeds the tyrant, but build work feeds your freedom. What is bringing me an ROI? What is important here? Second, I want you to schedule a pause, a strategic pause. Pick a full day. I know you're working here and there and you're grabbing time when you can, but I want you to be intentional. Pick a full day this week to rest with intention, to pause, not to scroll. I don't even want you on social media, not to catch up, but to come back to you, to your why. And that is where the revelation will happen. That's where Big Magic will land. If you haven't read that book, read the book, Big Magic. Third, I want you to anchor back to your why. I want you to audit everything that you say yes to, or before you say yes to it, and say, is this part of my intention? Is this on purpose? That is one question that can shift everything about how you build, sell, and scale your offer. The thing is, you're not behind. You're just buried under someone else's definition of success. And maybe it's your old definition. I don't know. The tyranny of urgency says, hurry up or you won't make it. You won't build. You won't scale. One of my coaches said, slow down to scale up. I want you to hear me there. Wisdom says, slow down so that you can make an impact. You will not make an impact out of urgency. You will make an impact out of being intentional. Your power doesn't live in your fast pace. It lives in who you are. You do not have to be a slave to urgency. You can lead with intention. I know this was a little shorty, but if this episode hit you in the gut, if you're realizing you've been building from survival instead of strategy, then this is your wake-up call. Inside of Content Mastery Mastermind, I teach women who sell offers to moms or parents to build visibility, to create content in a sales system that scales without sacrificing themselves or their family. Your family is the most important. So we want to build from peace. We want to lead from a presence, and we don't want to let the tyranny of urgency run our business anymore. No more. Get behind me, urgency. So if you are interested in seeing how we can work together, if you're a fit for this space and you want to apply for the mastermind, go to trishwarecoaching.com/apply. Or if you know that this mastermind is a fit for you, go to trishwarecoaching.com/mastermind. Now, to work with me in a one-on-one space, you do have to apply. And I'll show you what it looks like to build at the speed of alignment, not anxiety. And babe, remember this, action takers are money makers. You are the magic. You're magical. Don't forget it. As always, hit subscribe, write a review, and I'll see you again for part 2, where we're going to talk about the revelation in the rest and why being still, taking a pause, is the secret to scaling your offer. So today, we are tearing that cage down. And I am so freaking happy that you're here with me. I will see you again next week. Bye for now.